Alrighty guys, welcome back to some more Trails Beyond the Horizon. Last episode, we finished up Kevin's final route as well as Act 3. And found Professor Hamilton, but before Kevin could actually finish her off, we were intercepted by 3 new vestiges. A swordsman, a swordswoman, and a mage, all who seem pretty capable. But then the rocket launched and we ended off his story. And so in this episode, it's time to start up the finale. But before that, if you guys do like this video and this series, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It'll really help me out, and I'll make sure you don't miss the upcoming videos. With all that out of the way, let's get into it. We are starting on the title screen because, since we are in the finale, there is no choice. Oh, I don't want to watch this again. I do, but maybe after. If we hit continue, we'll just launch straight into the finale. That's why we're here. Let's do it.
And now a traffic update. Currently, the autobahns between Edith and Anchorville, as well as Edith and Longport, appear to be relatively clear in both directions. However, owing to the rocket launch planned for this afternoon, the outbound route from Edith to Longley is currently backed up for 50 Salge. As this congestion is likely to escalate and repeat on the route back this evening, caution is advised for those heading to Eastern Calvert.
Next up, we have a report on the Republican Army's joint mock exercises, also scheduled for today. The presidential office states they will be done to assist Project Startaker for a prompt response to falling debris in the event of a failed launch.
It sounds like the Air Force and Army are finally on the move now that they're just under 3 hours before launch.
Yes. Evidently, we can no longer take these joint mock exercises at face value.
Kedra... Judith...
Can't blame them for getting lost in their heads after everything they heard.
In any event, time is of the essence right now. We ought to thank the good inspector for expediting our transit.
Yeah. This baby will let us zip down south along the Autobahn. Speed limits be damned. Just gotta make it back to Edith by around 11.
I think that's super illegal. Just thought I should point that out, Van. Totally forgot to unmute for that part. You guys saw it. They're just reuniting. I usually don't read those messages anyways. You're saying Almada's foremost executive Melchior still lives then? So much for those reports of him digging his own grave during that strange phenomenon in the capital last year. There's no telling how, but by some trick or another, that bottom-dwelling madman is back. He's not the only dangerous individual at large either. Nevertheless, chances are high that they've withdrawn from the city by now. That's just one of several reasons why we gotta make our way back to Edith on the double. We were hoping the cops and guild could handle the cleanup here. Maybe even stand guard to be safe. So be it. If you're in that much of a hurry, then get going. My men and I will join with the local police to handle whatever may crop up. Same goes on our end. If anything does happen, we've got the place covered. You just be careful out there, okay, Elaine? I will. Thank you, Alvis. We're counting on you all to hold down the fort. If you don't have to leave right this second, mind waiting about 10 minutes or so? I have a little something to lend you. Huh? I wonder what it could be. 10 minutes should be all we need though, right? Yeah, no doubt. So, back to what we mentioned earlier. The words Melchior left us with.
The first Grimcat and the Sword Hermit who made an appearance here are also in the mix, evidently. Oh, and about that other assistant of yours, Epstein's great-granddaughter. I wonder if she's with them too.
You can explain, can't you, Mom?
Yes, but keep in mind that these are my mother's affairs. All I can offer is either hearsay or my own guesswork. This much I can say for sure, though. She, Professor Hamilton, and Agnes's grandmother shared a close-knit relationship. Nearly 6 decades ago, my mother lived in the capital as an orphan. Crime was so rampant back then that by the age of 12, she was already a habitual pickpocket and burglar. It was then that she snuck into the home of a certain somebody. That somebody was none other than Sheena Dirk, the hero of the Democratic Revolution, over 70 years old and long retired from the world of politics. She played on her piano a melody that drew my mother in, ridding her of all notions of thievery. A series of events later, the two had bridged their multi-generational divide, becoming close friends. From what I gather, it was through Sheena's instruction that my mother discovered a new side of herself as a chansonnier. Not long after, Professor Epstein arrived from Le Mans State at the Republican government's invitation. They had brought him in to design Trion Tower, during which time he stayed at Sheena's residence. In order to select and survey potential locations for the tower's construction, he had my mother, who was familiar with the capital, act as his guide. Shortly thereafter, his disciple Latoya and foster daughter Lilia also came to join him in the Republic. Though this threw my mother off at first, she and the girls soon took to one another, and before long, a site for the tower was decided. As a reward for her help, Professor Epstein gifted my mother the Phantanox Compact. If I had to guess, that little transformation tool may have been created using the same technology he used to work on the Genesees. That's likely the reason it reacts to them every now and again. In any case, my mother accepted the compact despite her hesitation, kicking off our family tradition of working double lives. As for Latoya, Lilia, and the professor, they continued to keep in touch even after returning to Le Mans State. 2 years later, however, word of Professor Epstein's death suddenly reached Sheena and my mother. My mother then took a horse-drawn carriage to Le Mans and reunited with Lilia and Latoya. The loss of the professor resulted in much turmoil, and amidst it all, my mother was tasked by Latoya and Lilia with bringing the latter back to Calvert in secret. Lilia was then taken into Sheena's household, spending several years with her under a different surname. When Sheena eventually passed at the age of 80, Lilia, with my mother's aid, learned to fend for herself at 18 and began living on her own. From then until the day Lilia left this world at age 46, she and my mother supposedly remained the best of friends. And included in their circle, I'd wager, was Latoya Hamilton, the only one of the 3 disciples who knew the truth.
So that's how it went? The origin of this compact, too. Safe to say Dominique really does have a connection to Gran, then. Not just her, but also Agnes's grandmother, taken before her time. Theirs was a bond of camaraderie spun around the days of the Orbital Revolution. Yet it's those very same threads that wove a secret pact concerning the 8 pieces of the Professor's legacy. Thus were they spread far and wide, with one even passed along to the tyrant in Longport 40 years back. Granted, I haven't a clue as to the extent of their woman's involvement in the hows of that process. But wouldn't it follow that those replicas the Madame Professor created were also scattered by Grimcat the First? That's... Watch it, old man. You can't just toss out wild guesses like they're fact. Unfortunately, no matter how ill its messenger's intent, the question does bear confronting. Well, what's Grimcat II think? I can't say anything definitively, though it is true that she journeyed across Calvard and the rest of Zemuria after hanging up her whip. Her fiery passion for the arts, whether as an acting coach, producer, or otherwise, was surely genuine, of course. But I can't deny the sense of urgency she gave off, as if there was a mission of grave importance driving her. Therein may lie her true motive for accompanying Agnes to the capital. Depending on the context, it may also relate to the supposed lie Agnes told. Ah, That could easily have been no more than Melchior's arbitrary ravings. Actually, 3 nights ago I saw a girl walk into the Trion Tower. Blonde, with a school uniform on. So that's what you were staring at. It was crowded, so I couldn't be positive, but it had to be her. For some reason, Agnes entered the tower, even though it was closing early for maintenance. When I asked her about it the next day, she acted completely clueless. And now that I think about it, your Grammy mentioned having someone to meet later that night, didn't she? A mind like a steel trap, this one. Gran was putting Reen and them back up at her house in Basel that night. But with the latest communication technology, you could hold a conversation no different from being in person. It may be then that Miss Claudel, the eldest Miss Lanster, and Professor Hamilton were in discussions at the time. I don't get it. Even if they were, what could they have been talking about? Well, that's what we need to hurry back to the capital and find out. Plus, it's July 12th, the day she turned 17. Oh. Wouldn't want all of Yume's birthday party hype to go to waste, right? Yes, if we make it happen today, then so much the better.
Thanks, Mom. We'll hear the rest straight from Grammy's mouth.
As you ought to. Both as her granddaughter and the Grim Cat of today.
Oh, good. You're still here. I think you'll appreciate what I've brought.
Aha. Might that be?
A lifesaver is what it is. About time we hit the road then.
We'll have Giordano give us a lift back to the capital once we've made sure those vestiges didn't leave any nasty surprises behind.
We can fill Bermonti in on the details too. So you guys just focus on getting to Agnes, okay?
Me? I plan on hitching a ride myself, right after my checkup at noon. Anything to vamoose before those debt collectors catch my to lend you kiddos a helping hand.
I'm still not quite following, but basically, you've got important business to attend to back in Edith, right? Safe travels. Let's hang out again the next time you're in the area, Reset.
What my asswipe of a dad does means F all to me. The Oathbreaker pulling his smarmy nose out of our crap, though? Now that was a twist.
No kidding.
Well then, with the face beneath the mask confirmed, it's my cue to pack it in and bow out. Don't take this as your reward for the 4SPG. But I'll keep an eye on these parts in case those dregs try to pull a fast one. For today, at least.
Guy must have had some hang-ups from his old job at the Order of the Moonlight Horse. Anyway, sounds like the other enforcers are in the wings, so we'll let him play sentry in the meantime. On that note, it's a small surprise you opted to tag along with us.
Hardly. I'm pretty positive Ix already skipped town anyway. Besides, you put a lot of work in for my request. I've got to make that up to you on some level.
Yeah? In that case, the more the merrier.
A girl of integrity after all, I see.
We're happy to have the extra firepower, too.
Definitely. Right now, getting to Agnes and Ren takes precedence. Bad news, though. Both of their Zyphus are completely isolated from the network. The only explanation that comes to mind is that they're in some kind of special, signal-restricting environment.
That figures.
It's the same with Grammy. But that aside, Catra...
You holding up okay about your own grandma?
I am. Finding out Kevin has been after her all this time did come as a shock, obviously. But she has more than a few allies, and my gut tells me Swin and them have their own plans brewing. That being said, I'm not exactly accepting of everybody on her side.
Catra.
The particulars elude us. That is, until you can inquire about them directly.
My thoughts exactly. I have a hunch we'll get a chance to make contact after the launch is over. One way or another. Young and Essie are probably ready to act too, so... all I can do now is stick to the Spriggan way.
Listen to you, talking the talk.
Do allow us to assist when it comes time to walk the walk, as it were.
Yeah. Besides, this is Professor Hamilton we're dealing with. No way she doesn't have her reasons. But first, we need to meet with Agnes and Dominique and see what they know.
No need to tell us twice.
You said it. This time, I'm gonna be the one grilling Grammy for a change.
Vermonti's already on the case, so a lead is sure to follow soon.
The end, the beginning. Looks like we're making it back in an hour, but we're not going to be able to have the birthday party. I thought for sure we'd have Agnes's birthday party. At least before all the events of the finale took place.
Jack and Hal caught me up a bit ago. Sounds like things have gone upside down and sideways. That aside, I was able to pinpoint the limousine that picked up Agnes and company late last night. They seem to have made their way into the presidential office in the Von Tai district, but there hasn't been any other movement since.
I see. We were already aware that Agnes was intended to spend the night there. Yeah, Renee told us as much. Still, it'd be odd for Ren and Dominique to stay too, wouldn't it? There's also the fact that we can't get a hold of either of them. I hate to suggest it, but is it possible maybe they're all being kept under house arrest? That's a safe bet, especially when the presidential office has a classified manhunt out on the professor. Dominique is indeed a cohort of hers, whereas Agnes may be collaborating in some way we've yet to fathom. Then on the flip side, Ren's only being held captive because she got caught in the crossfire, right? That is a distinct possibility, yes. It may be that they're sequestered in a separate part of the presidential office, among other alternatives. At any rate, they're probably in rooms with all devices removed and zero network connections. This is number 15 we're talking about, the legendary Kitty. If she's been declawed, then that says it all.
Sweet Helios almighty. It's just been one bombshell after another this entire call. When Inspector DeSwanee reported the Anchorville case as more or less closed, we figured that was that. But then he ordered me to work together with you. And now, here I am patching into some confidential secret share-a-thon.
Sorry about that, Nate. Still wanting to throw us a bone, though. After all, we've got a part-timer and some associates who are likely being illegally detained. And up against us ain't just any CID analyst. It's Renee Kincaid, President's aide, and the sword at his side. Just to have every card we can play up our sleeves, be they bracers, informants, or even the fuzz. Yeah. Van. Please, Detective, we'd really appreciate it. Fine. Only because it's Agnes, though. I mean, sure, this is the first I've ever heard about her being President Grahamhart's kid. But at the end of the day, she and the rest of you have had our backs who knows how many times now. Glad to hear it. This is your chance to earn some macho cred. Maybe relight that spark between you and your girl. Hey, who asked you? And we're plenty head over heels for each other already, thank you very much.
To be honest, I'm with the Inspector on this one. CID's gone way out of line. They've been keeping this whole ulterior motive behind the space program under wraps from not only the public, but regular law enforcement too. Putting civilians under lock and key just tops it all off, even if one of them's the president's daughter.
That's called grounding.
Help out a bit until the Inspector can make it back. But only within the bounds of the law, got it? I'm not looking to lose my badge here.
Yeah, we hear you. Seriously though, This makes a real difference. Well, now that that's settled, we might want to arrange a little meetup. Which reminds me, Ren may have been a no-go, but I did happen to get in touch with her fellow student council members. Apparently they've been mounting their own search. Mind if I extend the invite to them, since they're in the same boat? Always the bridge over troubled waters. Go for it. I guess it's only natural that Albert and Odette would be worried sick. Ren's really toughened them up, though, hasn't she? Having them on our side should let us breathe easier. Oh, and while we're at it, why don't I call up Risha and Nina, too? I wouldn't recommend that. Huh? Oh yeah, Risha's busy with Heiwei stuff, isn't she? As for Nina, I don't think a lot of reviews playing today. Speaking of Heiwei, about that intel on them and Marduk we discussed. Right, old man Gen's another story, but I can probably get a beat on Ashen. Incidentally, Mirabelle arrived at the capital's garrison approximately 2 hours earlier on our company's high-speed airship. By Nina, she means Nina Fenley, right? The one who revealed herself to be some special saint? Already in the loop, huh? Yeah, 10 to 1 says she's on the move over on that end. All guild members A rank and above have been notified, by the way. Or so I was told by Guildmaster Evans when he arrived to assist the Edith branch last night. Dang it, we really can't meet him? He literally showed up at the guild and we can't meet Evans? He's like, the guy people say is crazy strong. He literally leads the Bracer Guild and we haven't even seen like a photo with his back turned before. Oh yes, the eminent S-rank Bracer who binds the guild's Lemon headquarters and cross-continental branches together. Doubtless he is a remarkable individual indeed, being Cassius's senior. Must be, even if you're talking him up, Master. Not that I haven't heard a few rumors myself. Man, could we use an old hand like that in our corner? Guy's basically a walking game breaker. That might prove difficult, as dependable as he is, there's quite a lot resting on his shoulders. One in his position can't directly oppose the presidential administration, hence why Jin and I are at your service. The both of us facing off with Renee? You better believe I'll jump at that. Just what's going on between these two? They seemed awfully chummy back at Nemeth Island, too. Oh, yeah. I was assuming it was going to get red now. I was assuming it's going to be red for the rest of the game. Well, we've arrived at Montmartre. Oh, Maxim made it back. Albert, Odette, thanks for coming. Of course, it's looking like you had business with us either way.
To put it mildly, yes. Though we weren't counting on you all returning so quickly.
Late last night, an orb mail came in from Agnes and Ren saying they were back in the capital. But when they didn't respond to us all morning, alarm bells started going off in our heads.
And then around half an hour ago, Ren sent another orbal mail, this time with a video attached. You also said the stuff on it made it sound like she already knew we'd be here.
That's right. Just have a look for yourself.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. No interference, even while under shard soundproofing. All right, this should do. Sorry, Odette. You too, Albert. I did try to send this directly to Van at first, but the main channels around the capital are completely blocked off, so I decided to use a land bypass instead. Please deliver this video to Van and them if possible. They should be arriving from Anchorville right about now. For the moment, try visiting Monmar in the 8th District. Oh yes, and let me give you the address of his go-to informant.
Hold the phone. She had us pegged every step of the way. As expected of Miss Bright, we would be hard-pressed to find someone more dependable. Yes, she may give us a full grasp on the situation.
At the moment, I'm being confined in a corner of the presidential office. But although they've placed me in a room devoid of any terminals or network access, it does have, if nothing else, a security camera. And thanks to a little trick I had up my sleeve, I was able to hijack it and send you this message. Oh, and don't worry, no one's been rough with me in the slightest. They even provided me with a luxurious breakfast this morning. In all likelihood, they're planning to set me free just as soon as this afternoon's rocket launch has concluded. My apologies, though. I was separated from Agnes and Dominique last night. It seemed as though they had some sort of discussion with the President, but I wasn't able to catch it on the interior surveillance system. Also, while I hate to say this where Judith can hear, there's definitely something going on with Dominique. Judging by a rather disquieting exchange between her and Kincaid, could it be that she has a connection to Professor Hamilton? What's more, those white replicas are apparently the Professor's work. I'm still wrapping my head around it, but it must be doubly hard on you, Catra. Now, on to the main concern. I don't believe Agnes has been taken very far away. To start, the President has no plans to leave Edith. That would suggest he is seeing his plans through from somewhere in the vicinity. You may think, if not here in the presidential office, then perhaps the ruling party's headquarters, or else the capital's garrison, which you've previously visited. Wrong on both counts. It's bound to be a confidential location beyond the likes of either of those. For example, a place easily accessible from the head of state's official residence and capable of sustaining attacks from weapons of mass destruction. Ah, here's a shot in the dark. Maybe the presidential office has an underground sector of sorts. I doubt I can keep the wool pulled over their eyes for much longer, so this'll have to end here. Be seeing you soon. Oh, and don't forget the birthday party arrangements. Agnes's presents won't get themselves.
Did I just walk straight into one giant prank, or... Nah, she's just a big old cheater. One you'd be looking up to if she were still in the society. What really gets me is the way she even caught on to Grammy and the Professor's deals. At any rate, this gives us a lead on where Agnes is being held. Indeed. Might we assume, then, that the presidential office has some sort of shelter beneath it? Oh, that makes sense if they wanted to protect the president from a WMD. We on the right track, Bramati? I should say, the property underwent a large-scale expansion directly after the current administration took office. Work supposedly continued all the way through spring, integrating tunnels below multiple other districts along the way. Murmurings went around that they had built what was a massive subterranean bunker. One that could withstand, say, a blast of light from the retributive tower, or a direct hit from a nuclear weapon. Really now. In that case, it may well be that this facility also bears a relation to the space program's true objective. Yes, perhaps it was even meant as a backup for the space base near Long Lai. That is perfectly within reason, should our speculations prove true. Then that's where we'll find Agnes, and President Gramhart as well. I'm so over this. Just what the heck is that guy up to? This is way out of my pay grade, but whatever. When you're already in the deep end, you might as well swim. Well, the presidential office is all the way across town in Vantel District. Are we going or aren't we? We are, but hold your horses. Huh? For what?
Hi, everyone! It's a little early, but lunch is ready.
I ordered something quick and filling to eat. Can't head into battle with no fuel in the tank.
We asked them to make enough to go around, so feel free to have as much as you want.
Gotta have the obligatory lunch scene before we get to the finale.
Never seen you rush out this soon after coming home. But I can tell it's for a good reason. No sense holding you up with my rambling then. Dinner will be on the table tonight too, so you best not miss it.
Got it. Appreciate you looking out for us.
We'll make sure to bring our appetites.
You've got something special cooking to commemorate the launch, right? Can't wait to see how it pairs with a nice, stiff drink.
I'm still a little concerned about Yorda, but she does seem to be looking healthier now.
As I said this morning, though, don't go pushing yourself too hard. Can you promise me that?
Fine, whatever. And, thanks again.
You're very welcome. And thank you too, Elaine, for looking after her.
Not at all. She's been a great asset to us in return.
Yume and I will be heading out soon, but don't be afraid to call if anything comes up, okay? I'd also like to settle on a time for Agnes's birthday party sooner rather than later.
Yeah, definitely.
Assuming we're fast enough, you'll be able to ask her yourself this evening.
I shall assist however I can as well, once a decision is reached.
Count me in too. With her school friends on the guest list, it'll probably be a full house.
Van?
What's wrong, Yumes?
Oh, nothing. It's just, you still haven't figured out a present for Agnes yet, right? I'll help you pick something, but you gotta come back so we can go together.
Sounds good to me. We can even load your bicycle up in the truck and bring it with.
Yeah.
Not much longer now.
Excuse me, Van? Sorry to ask while your hands are so clearly full, but mind if we chat a bit?
Aaron, catch. Long as it's quick. Could have sworn you were supposed to be in Tharbad, though.
The event ended yesterday, so I caught an airliner back here this morning. The thing is, well, I'm just about to go to a launch viewing in the 3rd District with Yume and Paulette. She and Victor already gave me their blessings on this, but basically I plan on telling Yume about me being her father today. Maybe I'm jumping the gun, though. What do you think? Is it too soon?
I'd say it's a great idea. You go for that gold, Mr. Champ.
Why do we just see red, and then we're back to regular? We don't have many allies left in the city, and the ones we do aren't really going to be helping us much. An hour and 15 minutes before launch.
Hey! Albert! Odette!
Oh, thank goodness! You were able to meet up with the Spriggan!
Lyle? Shinon and Julian too? We did talk our next move over with Sasha, but weren't the rest of you headed to Longlai?
Give me a break. You don't get to act all surprised after that call you made right before we boarded the train.
Sorry, it's just that we haven't been able to get in touch with Ren or Agnes since last night. Sounds like you don't have a clue where they are either, though, so don't worry about it. Go enjoy yourselves in Longlai.
The way you pretended everything was fine just made it even more obvious it wasn't.
It's the same voice actor as, Is that Nadia? No, it's not. I just can't think of who it is.
That's why, after discussing between ourselves, the three of us decided to cancel our trip. We figured that maybe there was something we could do to help.
Then they came to hound me about it, so I went ahead and brought them here. Could be they're just not willing to turn their backs on this. I know I can't when it comes to Ren.
Well, duh! Agnes and us are tight! Just think of how hard we worked on the school festival together.
Oh, Lyle. You weren't even on the festival committee. I guess being classmates gives you an in, though.
That is on... I can't remember, man. It definitely sounds like, her, but I don't think it is. I think it's someone else. I'm just completely forgetting who they are.
We'll stay out of this if you don't need any more hands on deck, but otherwise, all you have to do is give the word.
This is a big sacrifice, passing up on your educational visitations. Thanks, guys. So, what do you say, Van? I ain't about to turn down the extra manpower. Should boost the odds of our game plan, too. Hey, if they survive the boot camp, I put them through for that stage show. This should be a cinch. Happy to have you aboard, everyone. Two security guards present. However, sensors indicate this presence of roughly 20 individuals, including soldiers in the surrounding area. Copy that. It's just like you said, Bermati. Do you suppose we can follow through with our strategy as discussed then? Doesn't seem like hacking the surveillance cams in the area will be a problem. Same goes for our setup point. Yeah, I think I can swing it. Probably. Here come the second thoughts. My guilty conscience is choking out what confidence I had. While your confliction is understandable, we implore you. Your involvement is instrumental to this mission. Won't you help, Mr. Detective, please? As if I could say no. Anything for Yes and her little pals. Incorrigible as ever. Nevertheless, I believe this concludes our preparations. We move in at 12 p.m. on the dot, right when live coverage of the hours leading up to the launch begins. Yeah, it gives us some time to kill before then. Albert, do me a favor run everyone else through the steps again. On it. Wait to begin the operation has been added to the travel menu.
It's launched.
And here we go. This is the Van Tail District. This is the final district of Edith. This is the first district. And I believe also that means we visited for the first time in the Daybreak series. I believe this is the first time we visited all of the districts. There is not much for us to do here. Well, there's a lot more than you think, but there is only 2 shops. Stop honking at me. We'll go ahead and go to Primo's Tacos, where we can get the Breath of the Earth tacos. If you guys remember this is only available if you completed that side quest earlier. And then over here, Eddie's Deals on Wheels. We can go ahead and purchase items, and they have the Tyrell Times special issue, and that is every single book in the game. You can also pick up some of these. These are exclusive, again, to today, so if you don't buy them now, you'll never be able to get them. There's not really a reason to, but again, you can if you want. And then, I believe, do we have anybody we can exchange with? I don't think we can exchange with Eddie. There's the bargain bin. But the other thing to do here, we'll go ahead and actually just, well, there's some gold skill stones for doing all the newspapers. There's the Breath of Earth tacos. That is the final food item in the game, meaning as soon as we can cook these last few things we're missing, which I might be able to do now. I know I haven't been to the Garten, though, so I might not be able to do it just yet. Yeah, we are still missing some Prime Beast Essence and Flesh, but as soon as we get those done, we should be completely finished with all the food items, meaning if we go check our achievements, there should only be 2 food dishes missing, which there is. Now, the only other thing we have left to do is, well, here in the Van Tail District, is if we actually go to the drone shop. You can refresh. You have 5 free refreshes if you want to use them. But more importantly than the refreshes, if we go to these might be really good subparts to grab. I'm going to pick up the tender white fish just because we'll need it eventually. Is it not here? Oh, do we just have to get lucky? We might just have to get lucky. Yeah. So we're going to refresh. You can get... I could have sworn we could get it for free. But I guess not. Nope, there we go. So yeah, you can actually get the gems from the bargain bin now. You can only buy 1 per, but if you wanted to, right now is a great time to refresh using your shards if you want to, and get all the gems. There's not really a reason for me to do it, but I did want to point that out. And finally, there is, other than the optional objectives, there's one other thing we have here. Now, we might not have time for those optional objectives this episode, but if we head over here, this is our final Grimgarten portal in the game. So, you should get some tokens and some Mira and a phone call. I don't recognize this ringtone, but if I had to guess...
Finally, thought I'd never get through.
Figured it'd be the Foundation's team on the other side. Where's Orion?
Just made off toward Longline last I heard.
Yeah, she's busy right now dealing with the stuff in Reen's story.
She figured she wouldn't be able to get in touch with you anymore, so here I am to pass her message along. Name's Yona Sacred, Deputy
Yona Sacred.
Foundation's Crossbell branch.
Ah, the Pizzaholic Geekazoid kid. Yeah, I've heard the stories. Your video feed ain't coming through. That thanks to the network restrictions set up around Edith? Oh, so you already know. That speeds things... Wait, people call me what? What? Were they wrong? First off, I'm already 18. Second, the rest of it's pretty spot on, but still. Guess Calvert's most famous brigand really is all he's cracked up to be. The info brokers can't get enough of you these days. Not the sort of attention I'm jumping for joy about. Anyway, the ninth domain finally open or something? Oh, right. Man, you wouldn't believe how much of a slog it was. That old fart from the society, Novertis, he might have the personality of a garbage can, but his genius is the real deal. One catch, though. We got a report from Orion. Apparently the deepest part of the domain has some insane protections walling it off, so clearing the place is pretty much impossible. You'd basically be making the trip for nothing, apart from some halfway decent training, maybe. Got it. I'll take that into account.
Even should you forge ahead into the ninth domain, you will find that its innermost depths have already been sealed off. For Professor Novartis, you see, has sequestered himself within to conduct his final analyses on the abyss's contents. That key, however, can be used to open the forbidden door, though doing so will like as not require the aid of the Foundation.
All told, though, we might try poking around anyway. Whatever floats your boat. Whoops, almost forgot. Turns out our chief was collaborating with Orion's crew on a little side project. They set up avatars for all the strike team members who are outside the capital right now, since they won't be able to connect to the Garten. Of course, they still won't show up in the Sanctum or whatever, that lobby thing you guys got. But they can be deployed inside the actual domains with any changes or updates sent to their real-world counterparts in the background. Just another implementation for you to think us about. For serious? Ha, damn, Crossbell's branch of the Foundation doesn't miss a trick. That makes the workshop and decryption services unusable as it too. Yeah, their avatar should be able to handle that, no problem. Oh, one more thing. We added a new account slot. Kitty's newest junior comes with her catches, but at least we can trust her on some level. Probably. Eesh, even with their full plates, he and Ren are still overworking behind closed doors. Heard and heard. Thanks for the heads up. Oh, and tell Chief Plato I said hi too. Sure, why not? I'll let you know if there's any updates on our end. Don't go screwing up out there. The Grim Garden's ninth domain has been unlocked. Note, however, that with its innermost depth sealed, fully clearing the domain is not possible at present. So essentially, we can hop into the Grim Garden, which we will do, but we cannot actually clear the ninth domain right now. That will only be available to us literally right before the final boss of the game. We can go ahead and hop in. Huh, imagine my surprise hearing you'd be jumping in on our end of the field.
Might as well, if we're already teaming up in the real world. Waiting around by myself would be kinda boring. Plus, my bit as a guardian's done, so I've got no more orders on that end. Feels a little weird logging in as part of the hero party, though.
Well, like you said, it's hardly much of a jump from our actual arrangement. We look forward to your added assistance, Miss Eldarian.
Sure, whatever. You clearly need the help.
It's not like we didn't already know, but the fact all the others are out of the capital is really hitting home right now. With so many of us missing, this place just feels big and empty all of a sudden. We'll have them in avatar form while storming the place at least, but it definitely won't be the same. And Shizuna's ducked out again too, by the looks of it. Just goes to show how much everything's coming to a head, space program or otherwise. Indeed, though it does little to change our course of action. There's good training to be had here, so we should try and progress as far as we can manage. Crushing whatever annoying plans the prof has would make it easier to focus on things outside, too. True that. Let's get to chipping away, then. Going forward, Reen and Kevin's groups, having reached the climax of their scenario, will not appear in the Sanctum or Garten events. However, in addition to participating in clearing domains, Altina, Lapis, and Toa will provide their usual services in avatar form. Yorda has been registered as a Garten party member, received all of Yorda's costumes. This is essentially just letting you still play as everybody despite them not being available right now. So you can still like make your party however you want. Now what's interesting though, is Shizuna, Ren, and Agnes are not here. I don't know if they'll be joining us when we do the final thing, but there's a couple things we can talk about while we're here. We really don't need to go anywhere besides Epstein's workshop. One thing I do want to check real quick, if I have Yorda on my team, we'll throw her on here. And if I go to Conquer the Garten, you're going to see the final domain is going to open up. But I'm just curious, what happens if we try to go back to fight Yorda? I believe she was floor 4.
The shackled hero sets out.
And I don't want to equip anybody yet. So let's just put on the team. Let's just make it the, the only people set up right now are the Kevin team, huh? So we'll go Kevin, Arisha, Crow, or Rufus. I just want to see real quick, if we go fight, will Yorda be with us or be with the enemy? We're going to know pretty much immediately because she wouldn't be able to hop into like right here either. It's all for science. This was the Yorda fight, right? I'm going to save because I don't want to waste time. But like this was the Yorda fight, right?
Watch out. That's no pushover.
Hilarious. She just completely has to sub out. That's crazy. Can I one shot? It's pretty close to it. Now we're just going to click A and win. Probably click A and win. Let me rephrase that. Holy. Kevin's strong too, which is why I'm like, that's odd. Spears of Ur and Loa. Just you left. And then Rufus can do a duel for rule. There we go. I was just curious what would happen if we do go fight. There is no reason to currently do anything in the Garten when it comes to like your floors. Now is actually a really good time. Well, it doesn't really matter because you can just go back to floor 1 and grind out all the stuff you're missing. But we have a couple important things here. We're going to start by going into... What order I want to do this in? Go Epstein's workshop first. The option to create and enhance weapons with onyx steel has been added to the equipment items workshop menu of the Epstein workshop. So, essentially right now, you have the option
for another adventure?
to use the onyx steel forge, and you can make the best weapons for every character in the game right now. And before we do this, I highly, highly recommend you go one of two routes. If you are done with the game and do not plan on doing a nightmare difficulty run, just give it to your 4 best characters on Reen's side of things. So somebody like Reen, Elaine, Burgard, and Yorda. Just give those 4 to them if you can make 4. If not, just choose 3. Because at the end of the day, they're the only ones you're going to be using for the rest of the main game. And then you would just also use those 4 for the Garten as well, whenever you do the final floor of the Garten. However, if you're doing a nightmare run, I highly recommend the first 3 you do are Van, Kevin, and Reen. At that point, I would start doing 1 from each route until you have 4 characters from each route. Now, something to be very careful of for Van specifically, so you have to remember some characters join and some characters leave, and you sometimes cannot have certain characters on the team at the same time. So for example, there's a chapter where Bearguard and Judith cannot be on the same team at the same time. On top of that, you do end up losing both Agnes, you lose Ren, you lose Elaine, and you lose Yorda. However, a couple characters you can pretty safely do, and it kind of sucks. I would say both either Bearguard or Judith are good options, and then at that point, it's just whoever else you want on the team. So, those are just a couple things to keep in mind. Now, we only have 3 Onyx Steel right now. On top of that, Well, I can't really show, but you can customize as well. So for 2 Onyx Steels, you can actually upgrade to their plus versions. So that's really good. On top of that, you can actually upgrade your armor, and you can create the Chronos Jacket Plus as well as the Strega Laguna Pluses. These are the best armor and best shoes in the game. And then we can go ahead and view how to get more Onyx Steel real quick. So first off, if we go back to the previous menu, there will be some achievements. There's a lot of Grim tokens that give you Onyx Steel. Now, we've already got a few of them, and I think most of them are actually locked behind, like, some of these EX missions. Yeah, like right there. When you get all treasure chests with Orbital Locks open, you'll get 3 more Onyx Steel. And then I think there was at least 1 more, but it's probably somewhere deep down in here. So that's the first way. The second way is if we go to the Grimoire Decryption. We haven't done this in a while, and I've been holding off for a reason. It's because if we check our list of rewards, we have a bunch of gem cards now, and now that we also have Yorda here, we can get stuff for Yorda. A bunch of outfits, tons of outfits now. I will be trying to show off most of those. These are all your one-time only items. So many. And you have your droplets, but more importantly, I believe it's going to be... you also have the newest gems. You can get all of those now. And then, where is it? I think it's going to be right here at the bottom. Onyx Steel. You can get an unlimited amount of Onyx Steel from the reward catalog. Now, the problem is, you can only do 30,000 G tokens at a time. I have 720,000. So what I'm going to do right now, because this is the last thing I want to show off, is getting all of our Onyx Steel and prep work done this episode. We still have more things we can do here in the Gartons, such as viewing the final connection events that we missed out on, but we're just going to hold off to do all the other stuff once we get to the final part in the game. So I'm going to be using all my G tokens, and I'm just going to be spamming through this. There's no point in having you guys watch all of it, and we'll just go ahead and come back once I finish this and hope we get a bunch of Onyx Steel. There we go. That is my final pull. Turns out you can just click X right here and do it quicker than pressing B. Yeah, that is my final pull. Shall we see what I have left? We got all the outfits, which is amazing. We got almost everything up here in the top, which is awesome. And then that's all that we really care about. That means I can show off a lot here. So let's go ahead and... I think this is actually going to put me back out into the... no, okay, I thought we could put us in the Sanctum. And let's quickly go check how many Onyx Steels did I get. 83 Onyx Steel. Well, I get to show this off. There's a weapon for Van. Weapon for Agnes. There's 24 characters. I'm going to be able to get every Onyx Steel weapon, and that is insane. I genuinely was not expecting to get this much Onyx Steel, which is why I'm so surprised. So we will literally just buy it for everybody. And upon getting the final one, we should be getting there, an achievement for getting an Onyx Steel weapon for all your characters. Then for 2, we can customize. Now, I'm actually going to first do the Chronos Jacket as well as the Strega Laguna. Now, this is where we do need to be a little more careful. Let's go Van. Let's go Bearguard. Let's do Reen and Crow. Let's go Kevin and Swin. And then it's honestly probably good. We'll go... I don't want to do Celis, man. That's just a waste. Elaine. Ren. Yorda. Fee. Nadia. Let's do all of these guys. That covers a pretty good... We'll give Shizuna. Covers a pretty good variety. Fortunately, these 4 I think I just have to skip out on. Because we can go on yes. I'm literally never going to use Quatre. I don't see a world I'm going to ever use Quatre. Well, there might be a world where I have to use him. Hold on, do I have enough? Wow. That is quite literally the best weapons and armor you can get in the game for every character. And I still have more Onyx Steel. I wasn't expecting this. I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. Well, the next thing we want to do is we want to customize our characters' slots. We want to open the slots for pretty much everybody that we can. So we are going to do exactly that now. Now, this is the thing where this is the place where I might fall short, just because I actually don't have as much Sepith as I would like. And that was with us spinning all the... we kind of just need to focus on who we would theoretically use, right? Well, I mean, honestly, there's actually not many people. It looks like I'm just going to be short on a few. Wow, we were very close to getting everybody maxed out. So we'll unfortunately just spin the rest we have, and then we'll try again once we have, we get everybody's, like, basic 3. We'll try again once we have got to the final part of the game. But I am just... I haven't bought a single Sepith either. That's why I'm like... That's so unfortunate, because I was so close. Because I'm going to run short. Yep. I'm out of 1. Dang. Well, there's that done. We can also look at the different image covers if we want to. We have Van, Fairy, Aaron, Rosette, Katre, Grimcat, and Rendel's Olga, I think. And then there's a few more things I wanted to show off.
Thank you very much.
So let's go... to workshop points. Can I do this now, or do I need to wait?
This is what we have for sale.
We do have all these hair colors for everybody. You can also buy connection pieces from here, but I have 12 of them. I think that's actually enough. There's a key item you can pick up from here. It looks like I don't have it just yet, so I don't need to worry about that.
Take care of yourselves.
So I guess really the last thing we can do, grab all my achievements. We get Hecate for forging 12 Onyx Steel weapons. And then the Kulika Nagaraja's Seal. CP increase plus 50% and turn CP plus 30. It's truly probably one of the best accessories in the game. And then this is just for Grimoire decryptions. The Zypha's unlocked. I'm so close to being done with all these. And then we can go ahead and I want to show off the outfits. On top of that, I do want to equip everybody's best weapons. So let me just like... give everybody their strongest weapon real quick, and I'll be right back after I've done that. All right, that is all the weapons done. Now, I just want to look at some of the costumes we got, see if there's any new ones. Swimsuit and towel. I don't really need to look at the towel ones, but we have to look at it in order to get it to go away. I actually like Yorda's lightweight outfit more than her regular outfit. Kevin's lightweight, meh. Kevin's swimsuit and Kevin's towel. He just has like his crossbow on his hip. I wish I could quickly go between characters. Risha's outfit, casual outfit, Risha's towel, Risha's lightweight. She just lose the gauntlets. And then we got air guard, swimsuit with top, regular swimsuit. Dude, he's jacked, man. That's insane. Elaine gets her swimsuit, the towel, and the Z1 Pit Girl attire. I actually said I really like the Pit Girl attire. I think it honestly looks a little bit more like Judith's outfit just regularly, but I do like the Pit Girl attire. Then we got Judith, her old outfit, her towel. She has a lot. White robe, the attire, the bathrobe, Judith bikini, Judith swimsuit with top, Judith swimsuit, not to be confused with Judith bikini, golden blood suit, and the Z1 Pit Girl attire. Why does she not have the other one? Maybe I just didn't. No, I pulled all the outfits. Interesting. Then we have Reen swimsuit, Reen towel, Reen the attire, Jin towel. And I wish some of these characters got cooler ones. I wish we would have got the, whatever they're called, the legacy outfits or whatever that we had from the last game. Van's towel, Van racing suit, the swimsuit with top. Yeah, the United coats. I wish everyone would have got a United coat. Van's Mishi outfit and Van's suit. Then we have a Fairy lightweight. I think she just loses the headband and the scarf. Old outfit. I really like her new outfit a lot better. Yeah, it's so much better than her old one, man. The towel, the attire, the priestess garb. I like that. I don't think we've ever seen her wear her priestess garb. The swimsuit, the uniform, the United attire, which I liked the United attire as well, and the Pit Girl. We have a towel, the attire, the swimsuit with top, the United attire. Again, I really liked the United attire, but I think I like his new outfit better. Rosette towel, Rosette attire, the Battle Maid suit. That's an interesting outfit. Swimsuit with top, and the Pit Girl attire. And then we have Cottray, towel, attire, swimsuit, uniform, and suit. Swin gets his swimsuit and towel. Nadia gets a uniform, swimsuit, towel, and the Pit Girl. I like how they also have their colors. Shizuna gets her swimsuit, the towel, and her Pit Girl attire. And then we're running out really quickly here. Fee's towel, Fee's attire. Crow's lightweight, Crow's towel, Crow's attire. Agnes has a ton here, holy. Agnes towel, uniform, uniform without the blazer, the attire, the tracksuit, Calvert Kingdom dress, swimsuit with top, swimsuit, United attire, Z1 Pit Girl, and Pit Girl B. Then we get Ren's outfit, lightweight outfit, uniform, swimsuit, Ren's towel, Pit Girl attire, and Grim Kitty. That looks really good. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. It's because she's Grim Cat, but Grim Kitty because that's her name online. That looks so cool. Yeah, I like most of these outfits are dumb. I was surprised that one actually has a meaning. That's so cool. Cella's towel, the Maxim Energy outfit, and then her Pit Girl attire. Glad she got the Maxim Energy. His Maxim Energy outfit and his suit. And Toa's towel, the attire, Lapis towel, and swimsuit. And that is it. That's all the costumes. I like going through those just to see if we have any cool ones. I do wish we got more United outfits in this game for everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much everything we can do at the garden. Again, if we want to, we can go conquer this. But I don't even know. Is there a reason for me even to click A? Yeah, you can see we're only going to be able to get to there, and then we can't do anything. If you want to grind, you can grind here, but there's not really a reason to. And so, with that, there's not anything else here either. So, we'll go ahead and just exit the garden. And I think we're going to go ahead and wind things down here. In the next episode, we do have a few optional events to view before we head into the final operation. I will see you guys then.